Now hear this. Flight quarters, man, all flight quarters for east spot only.
So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Ed Modest here from Hey Mo Productions. Just really quickly, we're going to go ahead in today's video talk about our 3D printed 172nd NIMITZ-class carrier. I'm outside here in my backyard porch just to let you know where I'm at in Southern California. You might be witnessing some of these winds that are picking up. It's not windy right now as I'm doing this video, but you might be hearing some aircraft flying in this direction as a background. That happens sometimes whenever we have these different wind changes. So just to let you know about that. Not my fault if that happens. It's just that planes are redirected to fly over. So let's take a look at that 3D printed model. I do want to recognize Hangar 08 for making such an exquisite product. It's very well detailed. We've already seen the pieces from a previous video, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at how this kit is put together, some of the finer details behind it. How do we mount a display stand to the flight deck? How do we put the display stand together? So we're going to take a look at those different things at this time. Now, as many of you right now have been looking at my video, you probably realize right now how costly this piece of art is. And I do say piece of art because it's quite detailed. We've seen what the pieces look like. In 3D printed, understand with all the different colors that are on there, you have to put in one colored layer at a time. So the red and white lines, the borders, the whole deck itself, the texture of the deck itself, those are all meticulously placed on there. So you're gonna have these really fine detailed areas on there. And many of you probably will agree that being a piece of art, whether it's a concert, whether it's some play, sculpture, a painting, you're gonna probably pay through the nose to actually get this product to be entertained. For me, it's 3D printed material that I'm gonna paint also, and I hope you enjoy this review, this comprehensive review of what we're going to be seeing. So let's go and take a look at what this flight deck looks like. We're going to put everything together, and hopefully you'll enjoy this video here. And also we're going to see if there is any good things, bad things, ugly things that might come up. So stay tuned and let's take a look. So first thing right off the bat, I pulled out one of my old poker tables. It's actually a Thanksgiving child's table that we used for many years. But I want to go ahead and give you the dimensions of this table. It's going to be a square, so it's about 30 and a quarter inches. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at the stands next. So the stands did come in this pouch-like material. They were set either on top, at the very top, or off to the side of the container box itself. And inside, you're going to find about 6 acrylic pieces that do need to be cleaned. Okay, it's not going to be perfect. There's some smudges that are on there, fingerprints that are on there. So I want to point that out that I did clean these. But in order for you to clean these, so if you're going to go ahead and handle these stands, I suggest that you put some vinyl gloves on or your painting gloves. You don't want to smudge your acrylic stands, so go ahead, okay? How these guys are put together. Now, it is a pretty thick piece of acrylic. Although I found one, strangely, that's a bit thinner. I'm going to have to take a closer look at that guy. But as you can see, you have a nice emblem, United States Navy symbol, all printed up on there, and it looks really, really cool. But let's go to the stand. So like I say again, you have 6 pieces. You have 2 female portions, and I'll mention why in just a moment. And you have 2 male portions for obvious reasons. Okay, so let's go ahead and attach the female portions on there first. And it's slotted, so you have to just put that guy right on in there. I'm going to go ahead and put the front piece. Make sure it's all aligned. And it slips right in there pretty easily. Next, we're going to go ahead and get the 2 male pieces. Now, it's going to be tricky because this thing's going to be slotted inside that female portion there. So you have to adjust the stand a bit, tweak it in one way or the other, and slide that male portion inside the top slots. And that male and female portion, they lock into position, as you can see down here. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. There are these 4 posts, 2 here, 2 in the back, that we're going to lay our flight deck on, and I'll show you that next. Okay, so here we are. We have the entire flight deck sitting on top of the table, and it takes up the whole table. So this guy is about 30 and a quarter, 30 and a half inches. Again, I'll convert that to metric in a moment. But a couple things stand out. First of all, first thing I want to mention, number 1. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you specifically about this flight deck because I got the sections all mixed up. So on this flight deck, this is A1, A4, A2, and A3. So as we're looking at this flight deck, I just want to point those things out to you because I got them all mixed up as I was explaining to it on the video itself. But first thing you'll notice is that the sizes are a little bit different. We're going to go ahead and measure the longer ones. So the length of this is by 16 inches by about 8.5 inches. And I'm going to show you that in metrics as well. Same thing for A1. A1 being slightly smaller in width. It's about 7.5 inches. But also, if you take a look at sections A4 and A3 that I have up here, they're a bit smaller. So sections A4 is about 13.5 inches and same width. So that's not going to be a major issue there. But something came up. And as you can obviously see, there's a mismatch in the height of the 2 flight decks, specifically A2 and A3 there, compared to A1 and A4 by the rails. So section A2 that we're looking at right now is flush to the table there. It's flush to the tabletop. Okay, so I just want to point that out to you. While section A2 is also the same thing as section A3 that's going to be up forward. They're both flush to the table, so there's not much of a difference there in size. But take a look at section A1 and A3. A1 and A3, this is A3 here. If you notice that they have this ladder well going underneath the flight deck. So because of that, and it's the same thing over here for A1. Okay, and here's A3. If you notice that because of that height difference, they're going to be a little bit taller, quote unquote, a little bit more in height than the previous 2 sections. So even though you have this discrepancy in size, It's just due to the materials that are being used for this. But take a look at the detail. The detail on here is quite exquisite. I'm going to shoot it from Cat 4 going forward, and you can see this great detail in natural light, how well defined this is. And I'm going to just flip my camera over to the other side and show you the same thing going forward to aft to the beginning part of Cat 4. And you can see the borders, the rails, the textures of the decks, the railings, the ladders, the platforms, and associated gear. The only thing is, though, as I already mentioned to you, that one rail border that's broken off, but that probably could be easily glued down there. I'm not too concerned about that. So we're going to go ahead, go back to my recorded voice on the videos here. Again, with the natural sunlight beating down from SoCal, you can see really great detail on that AFFF station. Granted, it does not have the nozzles that are on there, but as far as the rails, as far as the ladders, even the chain link right on this platform here. I believe that's a platform for where one of our antennae are going to be placed. The chain link is quite exquisite. Even the ladder going up this platform, this ladder right here I'm pointing to, it's also perforated. Now, is there glass in that launch control area? No. But other than maybe a little too over-exaggerated flight deck parts that we have here, the tie downs look good. The tie downs look appropriate. Maybe you could sand it down, but I don't want to wreck the paint job on there. But everything else looks great. The only thing I did not put down are the life raft containers, which they do give you 16 of those. 12 of them are in with A1 box, and the other 6, I believe, are in that A4 box, this box that's over here. You can request them if you want. You can request the AFFF barrels, those blue barrels I showed you, as well. Now, we could detail this a little bit more. I'm planning on doing that, just to give it a little bit more. I mean, it's pretty realistic already. But here's something I want to show you. I'm going to come into the A1 box, Cat 4. Now, we've already played around with Cat 3, in which case I came by and was flipping this around, and all the JBDs fold out. Although the color is incorrect, we could be able to respray it. I'm not too concerned about that. It's going to take a bit of time. But when I was coming over here to Cat 4, I was flipping it over and it didn't pop out. So I came by, okay, well maybe, they are glued together. But not just glued together. Check this out. Oh my God. Are you serious? Those linkages are articulated. Can you beat that? God damn. I'm sorry, but that, for those naysayers who say that China doesn't do a good job, they don't put a lot of love. You know what? They put love into this. They put a lot of work, a lot of love, a lot of research into doing this. And this, I have never seen something like, you just have to push those linkages down. I don't think I'll play around with it too much. But look at that. It is totally stowable. All right, so what does it look like with the stand? We're going to go ahead and put that together right now. We're going to go ahead and put those acrylic stands on together to show you what this thing looks like. All right, so I already came by and put the stands on. A bit of an issue. Okay, I'm going to show that to you because you deserve it. You want to see what this thing looks like. And, well, I'll let you decide. As you can see, all the stands are semi-attached onto the flight deck. And one glaring thing that really sticks out, we have a major gap in between the A1, A4, A2, A3 sections. Okay, now I say partially attached because the stands, strangely enough, one of the stands that I pulled out of the pouch seems a little bit thinner in material compared to the others, and that's this guy that's right here. The other three that I'm pointing to, this is one of them, they're a bit thicker. And the problem that I experienced as I was trying to attach this onto the flight deck, the slots are not going in there nicely. So we might have a discrepancy because of that. As far as the mating between the pieces, at least between A1 here and A4 up forward, those guys look pretty good. So that's the one thing I would point out. Hanger 08. We want to make sure that the product that we're selling is going to match up and everything. Now, is this a major issue with this longitudinal gap? No, it's not. Us modelers, we can do something about that. It's not a major issue. It is a major issue, but it's not a major. And we can actually elevate that stand, at least these two right here. We can elevate that stand to match up with everything else. But as far as the separation between the two sections, I mean, it's there. As you can see me rattling around, it's there. It's not a major gap along both sides. It's there. So in that respect, as far as the acrylic stands, yes, they need to be clean. Yes, you do need to be careful while cleaning them. And again, you need to be wearing your vinyl gloves. Get yourself a dedicated acrylic glass cleaner. I was trying to find one over at Home Depot this morning, but I had no joy. But as far as the detail, as far as what we're seeing here, I mean, okay, granted, it's not 5 out of 5. It's now maybe, seriously, maybe a 4, maybe even 3/8 because of that major gap. And if you don't know how to play around with that, if you don't know how to raise that section Cat 3 up, okay, well, don't get it. Now, sure, we put a pretty penny into getting this, make sure everything's flush, but I don't really see that as a huge issue. For me, I would give it a 4 out of 5. I just need to elevate that one section. But let's take a look what it looks like with an aircraft. What is that? This right here is X-47B. Set to go. Even the catapult landing arm is all set. Ready to fueling post. Checking out flaps. Checking everything out. And this is one of the reasons. What about this? The only thing I'm missing are the man and women. So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our video of the review of the 3D printed 172nd NIMITZ-class flight deck. I hope you appreciate the newer video that I'm producing right now. Give you a lot more detail about what it is that we're looking at, what we might be purchasing. Although there are some major issues, but it's nothing that we modelers cannot fix or try to enhance. So I hope you appreciate that. Give me a comment, positive or negative. Just understand that if it's a negative comment, yes, you're going to get an answer from me. But if you keep on the negative answers and negative comments about it, I'm probably going to delete you. But if it's constructive, if it's something that, hey, maybe you should do it this way, that way, yes, I'm going to answer in that one, in that respect, because it's a helpful criticism. Otherwise, please share, please like, please comment, and of course, subscribe to the channel. And please understand that I'm filming this video during the time of our major crisis here in Southern California. I'm safe, but many of my other fellow Southern Californian Angelinos are not. So please keep them in your thoughts. Please, if you could donate, I will be as well. I'm going to try to give you a link about how to help out at least the LA Fire Department in their struggles in containing the fires that are all around the area that I'm living in. Even though we started a year really great, 2025, minus the fires, you guys have really helped out my channel very much, and I appreciate all you've done. So take care, and I'll see you soon.